Cherry is this: you do all your efforts, you make an arrest, you hand over before the man is released on bail. Now you have risked yourself in doing that. By the time he is released, he goes to tell the people who you are, and then your family members or you are at risk. So it gets to a stage where the security forces are not even willing to do it, because once you get an arrest, the person is released. We have the issue in the South. A lot of the ships the other ship that was arrested 10 years ago. It was arrested, it was handed over, the ship went and changed its name, changed its color, and came back again. 10 years later, we arrested the same ship. And by the time you hand over the ship, before you know it, it's released.
Inspector.
That the magic wand to addressing security challenges, good governance. Anywhere you have good governance, security goes down, insecurity goes down. Without which is a problem. The security forces can only provide 30%. We can only provide the enabling environment. If other aspects are not addressed, it is a problem. Security is not only military security. We have food security, health security, social security, education security. So all these play vital roles into achieving what we're doing. So if we don't put these things in place through good governance, it becomes a problem. We also looked at the issue of increase in salaries. I know increase of salaries is bringing a lot of issues, but I think for a private soldier in the army, it takes less than 50,000 for all the work he's doing. I think it's not adequate. On the issue of allowance, RCA, ration cash allowance, where we feed. From myself as a general to the last soldier, I'm being fed on 1,500 naira per day.
The chief of naval.
And that's the chief of defense staff there, and his submission on some of the issues, calling on the what do you call it now? The arrest of Simon Ekpa. That his utterances have sparked up more violence, leading to the killings of many Nigerians in the southeast region, and all. That's a solid call, if you ask me, because anyone who instigates violence should somewhat be prosecuted. We cannot have people if you call on radio to instigate people, not just would you be prosecuted, even the radio station would be sanctioned. So why are we in all of these efforts to bring back Simon Ekpa, it hasn't really yielded anything positive. But I'll leave that one. I know it's a sensitive issue for some people, but truth is, no Nigerian deserves to die on account of what somebody else thinks or what they do not believe in. People should not die because they do not believe in a cause that you believe in. Let's listen to the IGP and what he had to say.
That has been battered. A police force that has suffered serious neglect over the past few years. The police also finds itself operating in very difficult environment, partly as a result, as a direct consequences of this neglect. The manpower in the police today is grossly inadequate. Even the criminals know that. The United Nations ratio of 1 to 400 is not attainable in Nigeria as of today, because the ratio in Nigeria is 1 to 1,000, which suggests that we have to double the manpower in the police and over. We have also realized
manpower in the police. The policeman goes out on a day, to do his job. Imagine one policeman to 1,000 people. How is that even possible to protect them? To protect the 1,000 people by one person? Is it possible? That's almost not possible. And that brings me to ask the question that I've always asked. What is the worth of a Nigerian life? And who even determines the worth of a Nigerian life? Because these days, it seems like the life of a Nigerian is worth more in the hands of a criminal than it is in the hands of government and its agencies. I mean, explain to me why a politician would give a Nigerian 100,000 and an AK-47, for instance, or a rifle to go and kill himself and kill other Nigerians on account of an election, to say, I must win this election. And that person takes 100,000 naira, puts his own life at risk, and kills other Nigerians because of a politician. Just so a politician can win an election. 100,000, sometimes even less. Is the life of a Nigerian worth 16,000 or 2,000 naira that they give to Nigerians when they go on election day to vote? They buy your votes, they buy your life, your security and everything with 2,000 naira, sometimes even less. Is that what the Nigerian life is actually worth to our politicians? Because people lose their lives on account of bad governance. The Chief of Defense Staff saying that the basic thing that guarantees the safety and security is good governance. If people do not have food and they do not have quality education, good health and all of that, there's prone to be violence, there's prone to be killings. What is the life of a Nigerian really worth? Because a policeman who has the responsibility to protect a Nigerian sees a Nigerian and says, stop there, give me that 100 naira now, and then the cox is gone, or I shoot you. And before you know it, boom, a Nigerian life is lost on account of 100 naira. And then sometimes they say it's accidental discharge. Nothing is done. No one prosecutes him. It's probably he gets a transfer to a different location, and that's all. Nigerian life lost. A Nigerian gets in a cab. They're going to a certain destination. Before you know it, it's a one chance, and they get thrown off. Another Nigerian life lost. For how much? How much is that Nigerian life worth? Are we going to talk about a Nigerian who's rushed into the hospital? An accident happens. We rush somebody to the hospital, and on getting there, the doctor says, you have to make an initial deposit of 50,000 naira, or else we won't touch this person. Also get a police report. If not, we're not going to touch this person. And before you know it, while we're at it, trying to get a police report and get the 50,000 naira for a stranger that we don't know, another innocent Nigerian lost. How much is the life of that Nigerian worth? Mr. Azuka takes his family, and they say, let's go for Christmas. They're all excited. We're going for Christmas. We're going to see our family and friends for Christmas. And they get on the road. As a result of a bad road, they have an accident, and everybody, a whole family, an entire family is lost. What is the worth of that Nigerian life? Who even determines the worth of a Nigerian life? What is it really worth? Because again, it seems like it's worth more in the hands of criminals. Because if that lady is kidnapped, the criminal demands for 2 million naira, 10 million naira, 50 million, 100 million. And everyone is scrambling to pay the ransom. Seems like the criminals know the value of a Nigerian life more than even the government and its agencies. So think about it the next time a politician is in your face. Think about it. Does he really value your life? Does he really value you? Does he place a premium on your life? Does he know what your life is worth? Does he consider you in any way? Because the monies that should provide you security, that should provide you education, that should provide you good health, good hospitals and all of that is what's been spent on buying cars and budgeted billions of naira being budgeted for food and ornament and perfumes and all of those things for themselves. What happens to you and your children who have to sit on the floor to get an education. Think about that. The next time you're voting for anybody on account of tribe and ethnicity, ask yourself, what value or how much is my life worth to this person? I'll bring you into the conversation now, joining 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 090-9705-4450. Join the conversation. Let's talk about your security. Let's talk about your safety. Let's talk about it because, like the CDS said, the Chief of Defense Staff said, everything rises and falls on good governance. If we have good governance, all of these issues that we have, this level of insecurity that we're dealing with, may not really exist. Because not everybody wants to put their lives at risk. But sometimes when there's no food and there's nothing else, their lives is already at risk. When they know that they cannot survive, the only way that they can survive is by taking up arms or taking up, weapons. After all, what do I have to lose? But if you have a good life, you won't think about crime. Crime would be the last thing on your mind because you know that if you work, you can earn. Only a few people would indulge in that because, maybe they don't think right. But in a time when if you don't do the crime, your life is at risk. If you do the crime, your life is also at risk. So what? I'll take your thoughts now. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. What is your life worth? And who actually determines the worth of your life? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Christiana.
Good morning, Chief Cosmos.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. I'm Chief Cosmos Uguna, guy. In fact, if we start to talk about Nigeria problem, it's in league. Like what the Chief of Defense Staff have observed. Look, problem of Nigeria touches me much. Besides whatever I am. I'm an old man, though. Don't think that I'm a young man. I suffered during the Civil War. I was in secondary school before the Civil War, the Nigeria Civil War. I joined the Biafra Army out of enthusiasm that I want to join the force and get some money because all schools in the south is closed, in the former eastern region. I know what I passed through, I suffered. That is why what you have not experienced, you cannot tell it to another person. You will not feel the what another person is passing through, except you have experienced that thing within yourself. I'm so disgusted to hear that up to now, today, that a private in Nigeria Army earns less or 50,000. It's too appalling. Now, talking about good governance, let me stop there. I need a time one day to come to your radio and talk. Yes, good governance.
All right.
We should do away all the old ways of doing things. We want to save money. Cut down your expenses. What is relevant you do so that good and social justice to everybody, irrespective of party you belong to. And for opposition, once the election is over, join forces in an amicable way, not opposing. When you are doing that, you are inciting the people against the government.
Thank you very much.
And government is always on the side of defending themselves.
Thank you.
It's not best.
Thank you
Yes,
for calling.
constructive criticism is allowed. And that should
All
be
right,
the nation.
we got you.
Thank
You very much. Thank you so much. Just imagine that. What is the life of a Nigerian private? The army. What is his life worth? Is it 45,000? These are the people that you expect to put their lives on the line for you. Less than 50,000. A policeman and the same. You call the police when you have issues, and you expect the man to put his life on the line for you. Meanwhile, his family is hungry. He hasn't eaten for days. We blame them, we insult them, we say lots of things about them. But think about it. Put yourself in his shoes. That man may not have pay the school fees of his children. That man is looking at his family and thinking, how do we survive? And you're calling him because he earns 45,000 naira or even less, but you're calling him to put his life on the line for you. Meanwhile, on the other side of the divide, there are criminals who are willing to offer him millions of naira to join in the crime. What do you think he's going to do? A man is called to serve his country, armed with an AK-47. You give him an AK-47, and at the end of the month, you pay him 45,000 naira, or less than 45,000 naira. What do you think he's going to do with that? In this time where people earn hundreds of thousands and it's not enough to cater for their basic needs, we'll pay somebody, we as a nation, we pay somebody 45,000 naira to put their lives on the line. No insurance, nothing. They die, their families are even kicked out of their accommodation. And at the end of the day, we want things to work. How are things ever going to work when we do not place a premium on the lives of the people? The IGP said some of the police stations with over 600,000 or so police stations in the country, some of them do not even have one operational vehicle. And we expect them to function optimally. But we'll spend hundreds of millions buying cars for a few individuals. If we do not set our priorities right, we're going to continue to be like this and suffer. And it behooves you. Who would wait for somebody to give you money before you vote for them on election day? 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Join in the conversation. Let's get your thoughts in. You can send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 090-9705-4450. Again, I ask, what is your life worth? How much is your life? If we were to put your life on a shelf and sell, how much would it be worth in Nigeria as a Nigerian? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning.
I didn't get your name, sir.
This is Kessington.
Kessington.
From Mandala.
Welcome. Good to have you.
Yeah, God bless you. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
I don't. It's well. Your analysis this morning is really actually causing me emotion. It's making me to be emotional. It's so painful when we really think about what is going on in our nation. People putting their lives online, just to make sure that we have safety. I was talking to a friend some time ago that, especially in the south, is that we should stop killing our soldiers and our officers. Because without them, even afternoon, you couldn't have been walking on the streets. So whether we think they are doing, wrong or whatever, they have been so good to us. We eat our home, most of the time they have to eat on the road. We sleep on our bed, most of the time they have to stay in the bush just to provide us security. So, and just like the Holy Book will say, when the righteous man saw the truth, the people rejoice. So every pain we feel today is a proof that we don't have the right people there. So we keep hoping and keep trusting God that someday that the Lord will give us the right people who will lead our nation to the right place. So I just want to appreciate you for what you are doing. And I also want us to also be taking time to appreciate individuals, especially men of God. I talk to people, I think we saw these people, but if we know what these men of God are doing every day, in the name of welfare, if they withdraw the assistance this nation, it will be hell. There are billions and millions and thousands of resources leaving churches every day, going to communities just to try and help. But how much can you really do? But the little we can, we have to keep doing it. I know several times I have not paid my children's school fees, and you have to settle somebody's school fees on the street. You have to put smile on people's face. These things happen daily. At times you ask yourself, are you crazy? But you come out the next day and you see the pain, and you see what people are going through. You just want to help. You just want to, at times you eat at home and you ask yourself, this eating soup without meat. But there are families who don't even have this soup to eat at home. I'm eating Gary and I'm complaining. There are families who don't even have this at home to eat. So I just pray our leaders come to a point that they feel the pain.
Thank you very much.
And I pray that God will help us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate you calling in. I'm going to bring in another caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, my child.
Good morning, Bibi.
The prince, how you doing today?
I'm well. Good to have you.
I just want to give you your voice. That they go down for our side. The Lord is your strength. Our prayer, He will follow you.
I mean, thank
God
you.
will be your guidance and will be your protection and He will be everything for you. As you are coming out every day, it's not easy. I greet our caller. The lily they try. May we not give up. May we continue pushing until we deliver what God put for our mind to deliver for Nigeria.
All right.
Although I know this for beginning, I want just greet you.
Thank you.
May God give you more wisdom. God bless you. Yeah?
Very much. Appreciate you.
Everybody, our father, our daddy, our mother.
All right.
God bless you.
Well, the conversation continues. This is Eagles Outlook on your radio experience you can count on. Again, the question is, what is your life worth as a Nigerian? And who determines that worth? I mentioned earlier that it seems like the criminals value the Nigerian life more, or place more premium, or even have more. The Nigerian life is worth more in the hands of criminals than it is worth in the hands of our rulers and their agents and agencies. It's really sad for a man to train, go through all the difficulties, stay on the streets for weeks and months, and they are paid 45,000, but they have an AK-47 in their hands. When there are people who are offering him millions of naira to join their criminal gangs, where do you think it's going to go? What do you think it's going to do? Again, a big thank you to those who have stood by the Nigerian state and have held on to their values and have refused to join the criminals because, it's more enticing. It's more enticing. It takes a man of value to resist, to be on the other side and be on the side, and just stick to the side of righteousness, if you allow me to use that word. The conversation continues. Keep it here.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Yes, so this year 2023 annual 72 hours of praise at Christ Apostolic Church, Power of God Prayer Mountain, Kaida Road, Okutunku, Gwagalada, Abuja. Coming up on the 22nd to 24th November 2023. Days, Wednesday to Saturday by 6 a.m. prompt. Ministering Pastor Sheyi Israel, Prophet Adeyemi David, Pastor Titus Adeyemi, and other anointed men of God. Where praises will open heavens for divine connection and shower blessings upon your life into the new year and make you sing a new song. Performing live, Omoba Akikiton and other anointed singers will be there. Join us in the annual 72 hours of praise. For more enquiries, call 080-5273-9559. 080-5273-9559. Host Prophetess Funke Adeyemo, Mama Orioke. Holy Spirit is the chief host. Be blessed.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. Hurry now.
Thank you for staying with us on Eagles Outlook. We're talking this morning and I'm asking, what's the life of the Nigerian worth? Looking at the, statements made by the Chief of Defense Staff, the IGP, on the floor of the House of Representatives yesterday, where they, reeled out all of the difficulties. And the Chief of Defense Staff made an argument for good governance, because at the end of the day, if we have good governance, all of these issues may just be a thing of the past. If people are secured with the food, with education, with good health, and they can count on all that, they may not get involved in criminality. And I'm asking, why does it feel like the life of a Nigerian is worth more in the hands of a criminal than it is worth in the hands of our so-called rulers, our rulers and their agencies? Because if a criminal abducts you today, they're going to ask for millions. But your so-called leaders do not think that your life is worth more, up to that amount. They give you peanuts to kill yourselves. For them to win elections, they give you peanuts, when you come around them, but they budget billions and billions for themselves on some very, 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 irrelevant things like perfumes, like food and honorarium and all of those other things and cars, when the rest of Nigerians cannot even afford good health, cannot even afford medication. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Paul, my prince.
Paul, good morning to you. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, my prince.
That's
I think this is your question this morning. They are supposed to be taken to National Assembly.
Mm-hmm. You can help me take it, please. Help me take it to National Assembly, Paul.
No. We need to move them to National Assembly. Because they are very, very important questions that we need them to talk about. Now, all that, this question, and when I listen to the IGP speech and the CBS, now IGP, based on the ratio, 1,000, one policeman to 1,000 in Nigeria, instead of 1 to 400. Even that 1 to 1,000, if you have to share, you can say half to 1,000.
Honestly. Because some of the policemen don't even have rifles. They don't go around with rifles. They don't have any weapons to protect Nigerians. Some of them, it's crazy. Anyway, just go ahead.
There's nothing. And even the ones that have the AK, they are being packed. The politicians pack them to guide them. They go guarding their houses. They go guarding their families. Meanwhile, what the CDS said is a sum total of what we have in this country. If you are able to put social justice, everything, security, like food security, good health, it will solve a lot of issues. There's really much they can do. But you see, when they do all this and they come back, he has said it all. People are not giving out information because they feel their lives are at stake. Because once they release the person comes after them. What's the point? In some countries, if they catch you as a terrorist, they knew it before you know it, they will just in fact it doesn't get to court. You are killed. But these people are phantoms because you find out that there's a vested interest somewhere. How would somebody sit down, looking as a big boy, and then he's using AK-47, giving it to people to go and kill? To go and kill other people, and he's sitting in the town enjoying that. If you look at those people that see all these kidnappers, and my friend, I don't know why you see their pictures.
I do. They don't look like what they don't look like the monies that they take from people when they abduct them.
Look at it. And then honestly, our security men are trying. One, they're a target. Secondly, the goal that they go through. For a private, how would the person survive? My friends, and then they need to also look inward. They need to treat their personnel better. Because some of them, when you look at even the way they sleep, when you go to where they sleep, you cry for yourself.
Well done, Paul.
Most of these guys who have been maltreated, they are the ones that are in the field.
Thank you very much, Paul.
So when they are training and so on and so forth, they have to look in.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. Gotta let you go. Hello, good morning. All right, that one dropped. And Alex Jennifer here says, good morning, Henacho. All these questions are supposed to be thrown to our politicians. The Chief of Defense Staff said it right in front of their faces and they all kept quiet. Well, the way Nigeria is going, it can never get better. We sleep with one eye closed every day. The only solution is good governance, and our institutions should work. When a criminal is arrested, he should be judged immediately. The institution and our leaders are our problems. You remember when UAE released the names of terrorist sponsors? What has been done to them till now? Did our security agencies release their names until today? We have so many Simon Ekpa in the north. They should be brought out. Our institutions and our government owe us a lot. God bless you, Alex Jennifer. Thank you very much. I'll get back to the phone lines before I take your thoughts. Salasi, I see your message here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. What's your name, sir?
Bushman,
you're welcome. It's been a while.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
So at last, the service chief have gone to the house.
Yes, they went yesterday.
I asked them question, what made them not to go in the first place?
Well, they're service chiefs.
You see, I'm a 63. I joined army around the early 58. Most of these generals have not even finished their secondary school. You see, one thing is that the life of other ranks, from RSM downward, worth nothing to a general. He can even sell them and get his money. If not, how many of our soldiers are attached to the politicians, depriving them from going to war front where they belong to? It is them who are the general who are giving them to the politicians. Although what the chief say is the correct thing, I do always say that war begins with talk, not gun. No. If every other condition in this country will be put into a good condition, then there will be no need for anybody to go and begin the fight in the bush. People are lacking jobs. Like, for example, when the Sicilians who fought the Nigeria Civil War, today is over.
Hello, Bushman. Seems like we lost connection with you. Well, again, the matters remain the same. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Nihamata.
Good morning, Alami.
This is Alami from Central Area. Nihamata, I listened to is it the Chief of Defense Staff yesterday, and the Inspector General of Police. And when some of us, we decide when we are always advocating and being on the side of the security agencies, it is because we understand that they are not being well equipped as expected and as supposed, and then they are achieving the little successes they are recording. Now imagine if they are fully, their welfare is being fully catered for, and they are being equipped, like it is done in other clients. But nonetheless, let me first of all appreciate President Muhammadu Buhari. I stand to be corrected. There is no administration since 1999 that paid more attention and invested heavily in our security structure and infrastructure and even welfare. And then it is evident in what is currently happening in the northwest and in the northeast in terms of the fight against banditry, terrorism and insecurity one way or the other. But bringing it down to the first headquarters, talking about the police, it is pathetic, the condition of the police, the Nigerian police. And I think instead of always condemning, criticizing, the police is this, the police is that, that is why I'm always asking this question. Does it mean that I am the only one that have either a family member serving in the Nigerian police force, directly or indirectly, that most of our listeners don't actually have a member serving in the Nigerian police to understand what is currently happening there? That all we do every time is to come and condemn, and even refuse to identify one thing that they've done right and understand their own limitations and challenges. In conclusion, let me not sound like a broken record. Our anger, our frustration should be unleashed at the system, not the police and average police officer on the road. Like you said, an officer with an AK-47 that's collecting 50,000 monthly and is still willing to die for the country, and we are still condemning them again.
Thank you very much.
We should channel our frustration to the system. The best way to go, the Nigerian police, the the Nigerian Police Service Commission, the Nigerian the Police Trust Fund, the National Assembly. They must prioritize our police officers' welfare. That is the only way to solve the security and the bribery and corruption that the Nigerian police force is immersed in. If we do not do that, I'm sorry, we will only be dancing in circles.
Thank you again. Appreciate you. Your thoughts taking. Salasi, let's hear you. Again, sometimes, I don't want to say this, but sometimes the Nigerians themselves, these people in this service get greedy. I mean, imagine people who, someone said, even if we pay some of these people millions, at some point they may still go back to the crime because that money seems like it's easy money. And it's way more, it may be way more than what they earn. That's not to say that there are no people in the service who may be earning next to nothing, but they would never compromise their values for anything. And it's those people that we doff our hearts for. We celebrate you. Thank you for your service to man and country. Thank you to those people. Salasi, let's hear you.
Good morning, Prince Ehenacho.
Good morning, Salasi.
My name is Salasi. You are asking what is the worth of Nigerian life? What the worth of Nigerian life? And I want to appreciate Elder Onoja. May you live long. Elder Onoja, I pray to reach your age too. Appreciate your wonderful contribution for always so passionate about security of this country. Now we are talking of security in this country, Prince Ehenacho. An army officer, a private salary is not up to 50,000 naira. You know, I always talk about salary discrepancies, most especially among government agencies. An army private receiving only 50,000 naira. And it's the same, go to the same other government agencies. Some people that are privileged to be in the better agencies, they'll call this radio station and say Nigeria are wailing and lamenting. As I'm speaking to you, I was talking with a guy, level 8 officer. He said his salary is not up to 125,000. And he has children in school. Some of them are in university. Some of them, you know, he live on loan. I tell you, these officers, these people working with some government agencies sleep after work because they don't have money for their transportation. Someone is on loan. By the time they collect, maybe he take home will be around 20,000 or not up to that amount. So the general talk about food security and the welfare of the people, not only health security. He mentioned different kind of security. I'm telling you, President Ehenacho, most of the food being consumed in this country is being produced by these local farmers. And this local farmer, the insecurity has chased them away from their ancestral land. That is another factor. Now we are talking a lot about insecurity. I think government must come out and cut costs. This politician, a politician that has nothing in his life, coming to that elected, before you know, you see him living in millions. While the people that do this work are gallant men, there were security men that suffer for 35 years. Some of them doesn't have their house on their own. And there's someone that will just come with a period of 4 years. You see him building houses, getting SUVs, and so on and so forth. Look at what Malawi government did. They cut all the courses. They called the people to even travel, but they called them back. Look at the Zambia president. As he came into power, they bring a budget about $1.something million for purchase of car. He said no. He's going to use the former president vehicles. He said no. He said, is anything wrong with the former president vehicle? They say no. He said he's going to make use of it. Until our politicians learn how to cut costs, thinking of the masses, then we can have security in this country. But without that, an angry man, a hungry man is an angry man. Government must look into this, and they must look into this wisely. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Nagode.
Thank you very much, Selassie. Again, we must have to start to have honest conversations about our country. If not, we may never really move forward. People have cited Malawi and Zambia and the rest of them, African nations waking up. And why are they waking up? Why are they waking up, you want to ask? You know, I was saying this to someone yesterday. When your next door neighbor, there's been a coup in your next, in the next country, or your neighbors, the country next to yours, and you see what's going on there, and you see that the people are brewing in anger, it forces you to begin to act right. But that seems not to be the situation in our country, and we must be careful not to allow the anger of the people overflow or overboil. Let's not allow that. We must be careful at this time in our country or in our national life. Let's do whatever we can to ensure that the life of the Nigerian is valued. There's a premium on the lives of Nigerians. Another caller is here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Princess. Good morning, Princess Hannah.
Comrade Hannah, welcome. Good morning to you.
Thank you. You are doing a great job.
Appreciate you.
Princess Hannah, I think Alamin is misunderstanding the speech from that chief of staff. Nobody is condemning or lamenting our security. He says the ratio is supposed to be 1 to 400, but it's 1 to 1,000. It means that we have less police force in the society. What the government is supposed to do, they have to balance that ratio. Employ more people. Mr. Henacho, today, if you want to join Nigeria Police Force, if you don't know anybody, forget about it. Let me just tell you the truth. Forget about the physical training, screening they are doing. It's very few, after 100%, 10% of it that will be the one that will go. The 90% comes from top politicians, name them. Is that how country is supposed to run? A single politician now is being guided by over 10, 15 policemen. And you and I, we don't even have police outposts in our area. When there is crime, we will start punishing. We have to change our way to make sure, let us be more patriotic in this country. Otherwise, I'm just telling this government to wake up and do the needful, because Nigerians are getting angry on a daily basis because of the kind of news we hear on the radio. If you observe, I've not been commenting on your newspaper review. It's not that I don't want to contribute. The news I'm hearing there is alarming. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much. This is where we'd have to leave the conversation for today. But yes, this conversation should not end here. Some of you are related to the people who are considered high and mighty, the people who are in high places. Please, reach out to them. Let them know that things need to change in this country for the better. That the security operatives and the security agents need to be treated better. I mean, how do you put your life in the... I mean, do you see how the orderlies and security aides to these politicians leave? That's why everyone is scrambling to be there. To be an attaché, or what do you call it now, an orderly to a politician. Because that's where at least they have a semblance of a good life, of living. At least they paid better. They eat good food. You know, they're able to rent good apartments or live in good houses. Unlike their counterparts who may not be that lucky, which is why they pay. They even go as far as paying just to go and protect somebody's life. And you're going to put your life at risk for somebody else, but you're the one who has to pay to get that spot. What are we doing? When would we get serious as a people? That day should be now. Let's get serious. Let's fix the problems. Let the Nigerian life be worth more than it's currently worth. And I hope that the Almighty helps us as a people and as a nation. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the conversation. Thank you to you who just sat back to listen. Nigeria will be better. But we almost put our hands on deck to make it a better place. Thank you all. My name is Iheanacho Prince. Martha takes over on the Meet the Extra show. Business News is up next.